welcome to Visio, the Backstage view. The Backstage view in any Microsoft product is all the things that go on behind the scenes, really, and it pretty much refers to anything that's under the section File. So if you'd like to go onto Visio and just open a blank document or a basic document, I'll show you here. You've got a couple of options. Sorry. Open. There. Basic diagram, blank drawing, organization chart. If you just stick with a really basic diagram or blank drawing, I've picked basic diagram. And what it gives me here is a list of different shapes that I can use. Under 2007, it says you click on New, File, then New, then Template Categories, and then you click Flowchart, and then you double-click Basic Flowchart. As with all Microsoft products, it uses the name of the software plus N for naming it. So if you were to open this, as you can see here, it's drawing 21 because this is the 21st blank drawing I've used on my setup. And obviously that will get knocked off as soon as you rename it. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you is the information pane. And let's wait for my computer to catch up. Info pane here. You can remove personal information. You can reduce the file size. This is actually quite important in Visio, and you'll find that you will need to do this quite frequently because it's very graphic heavy, which means there's a lot of code behind it. So to give you an example, a 400-page Word document has the same amount of space is used as an 18-page A4 Visio document. So space can be an issue. I'd also like to say that laptops and Visio don't really work. If you have a very powerful laptop, that's great, but it's so content heavy, you'll find that it will eat up through what storage space you've got. The other issue is that doing anything in Visio with a trackpad mouse for a prolonged period of time really isn't very practical, and there are sort of general health and safety concerns and things to do with display screen equipment. So I would always recommend using an old-fashioned plug-in mouse, preferably a 2-button, 1-scroll one. But I'll talk about that a little bit more further on. Right then, back to where we were. Check compatibility. This tells you what it does, what features are available in each different version. You can insert this in, and it can be quite nice. For people who are using different versions to you, and then here for the publish options, the visibility of the individual pages, and Visio feeds directly into a Microsoft product called SharePoint, which allows you to put this document up on SharePoint, and in theory, if you were doing a flow chart or a process chart whereby, I don't know, how to fill out a holiday form and the process, you'd start at step 1, which would be download holiday form. So you click download, and off the Visio drawing you would appear on the desktop either the Word or Excel version of the holiday form. Then you go to step 2 and it will say email this to whoever, and you click on that and it will suck your drawing through, and so on and so forth. Over here is properties, and there's a southward facing arrow, and you've got advanced properties in there. I'll come back to those further on, but it is the basic stuff here whereby you can add a tag, add comments, add a title, category. You can put the company name in. I tend to do this pretty much as standard because I do a lot of work for different companies, so it's the first thing I do, and I always tend to spend 10 minutes thinking through how I'm going to phrase things. Now this is being recorded starting today at 4:30, or 16:32, and you can put in related documents, and there's my name, etc., and I can put in a manager's name if it's appropriate. Now with the other aspects of this, they're pretty much as you'd expect to be if you use Word or Excel. You've got new, let it catch up with me a moment. You can search for templates. As I said, it does look different in 2007, but the theory is the same. We've got open, which allows you to look at recent drawings. I've got a SkyDrive. This pulls up various different drawings, and I can look on my SkyDrive on my computer, or I can choose another place, which would be a shared network. Your IT department will be able to do that if you can't do this. Save. This will save the document, and again, you can tell it where to save it to, and it also pulls up recent under because I'm highlighting SkyDrive, it pulls up my recent drawings. Save as, same options, print. Printing in Visio is controversial because a lot of people love bright colours and it can really eat through ink. So up here is a really invaluable option where you can change it to only print in black and white. Here you can change the orientation. There you go. And that's often, I always tend to look at that before I start to print something, just because sometimes you can see actually it does look better in portrait and I can squish it out, etc. Settings further on up, I know I'm working backwards, but I do apologise. Different options here, print all pages, current page, custom, current view, so on and so forth. Again, it's prettier looking than older versions of the Microsoft Office suite. And finally, you can pick your printer. Oh, I forgot to mention, you can also collate. So there's nothing here that is different or extraordinary. You've got a big print preview, which is new and is very useful. And if I had multiple pages, I could scroll through each page, and I can choose to scroll up and down on size. Share. I use this a lot. This is the best way to, I can either, again, because I've got a SkyDrive, I can share it onto my cloud and invite people, or I can click on email and I can send it as an attachment, as a PDF or an XPS. I tend to send most things in Visio as a PDF. Now, export is another way of exporting it, but if you know you're going to be if you know that this has to be emailed and the document's finished, then I tend to go to share, whereas if I just want to keep a visual copy of it, I go to export. And you can keep it as a file type, and there I can choose to save it. I'm going to cancel that. Oh, but before I do, it's on this option here, you've got your options of the PDF settings, so you can have current view, print the colours black regardless, and if you want it IS 19005 compliant. So I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to go back to the Backstage view, close, self-explanatory, accounts. Here are my settings. I've got my office background as stars. I'm going to change it to underwater. We'd like to have a look here. And what that means, I now have little submarines and things. If I go back to account view, I'm going to put it back to clouds, and I can pick my color. And in Visio, you have white, light grey, or dark grey. I'm going to put it back to white, and we'll see that in a moment, and it becomes much brighter. These are where I've got my connected services, so I've got it hooked up to Gmail. And as you can see here, I have a trial version of 13, which I'm running at the moment. Why? Because you can get 90 days for free. And then you buy your 1-year version, so you get it for 15 months, the price of 12. Well, that's how I see it, because I have to pay for it. Sorry, I know I have to use this in my business, therefore I know I'm going to end up paying for it, so 90 days free suits me just fine. And it tells me I've got 26 days left, so the clock is ticking. Options here. I've no idea why this pulls me back, but it always does bring you back onto this page. And here are the standard options that you get: general, proofing, save, language advanced, customize the ribbon, access bar, add-ins, and trust centers. I'm going to leave this video here, and then when we come back, we're going to start back again on this page. All right, look forward to speaking to you then. Thank you.